you have probably been more part of the system than anybody. You've been on the Central Committee, which is now the Southern Committee. You're on the Eligibility Board, or you're still on the Southern Committee. You have been involved in many ways, shapes, and forms. So just overall, as we come up to the 20th year, is there parts of the act that you say that was a good thing? Are there parts that should be changed, or how do you feel about it?
Well, I think in the beginning, once you kind of got used to the way it was going, it was okay. The license change, you can kind of deal with. It didn't weed anybody out. People paid the extra money, or they let their extra licenses go. That's why there's so many in the pool now. That was a result of license fees. Some people have gotten out of it. Some people hold on to their license. I think up until this new governor came into office, it had stayed basically the same. I think it was a process that had been weakening through changes in directorship. I think in the beginning the process worked good with all the advisory committees. The emphasis on the committees went down. After the new director came on board, emphasis on the committees went down even further.
Which means there was less public input.
There was, and what public input there was is not being considered by the commission at all. So that's not good. It has been slowly being weakened in the last since Preston Pate retired. That's the crux of it right there. I think the fisheries management plans have been used in the wrong way. I was not actually for them in the beginning. NCFA decided through negotiations that they were going to support fisheries management plans. I think that if they would have left it the way it were in the beginning and stayed to those high standards that they had at the time, in that everybody, for example, from the committees, you were expected to have a member like I've been on a committee since 1998. First, I was on a Central Committee, as you say, and I was a co-chairman of that. Now I'm on the Southern Committee. When they did away with two of the committees and made a super committee, which makes things even more watered down. But that's an example of how a good process has just been weakened, and it's now undergoing further weakening with fisheries management plans, with the composition of the Marine Fisheries Commission, which I hear now is going to 7. That could be a plus or a minus. I'm not sure. Depends. It doesn't matter if you got 25. They had 17 people on the commission at one time. I thought it was a lumbering behemoth myself, but I was pleased when it took it to 9. But again, that hinges on having sensible people. And sensible people who are making decisions. I mean, we had good people on the commission at first. People that believed in hearing others out and getting the whole story. It's not that way at all now for many of the commission members, in my view.